So, good evening. Welcome back to another live stream show. Tonight, I'm John, and tonight I've got two Italian fans who are so delighted after Sunday's victory. And I can see Domenico get into the swing of things. And Domenico, buongiorno and buonasera.
Buonasera tutti. Campione d'Europa. I can't believe it. It's been an absolute. I never thought it would happen. Against all the odds to be champions of Europe. So I've had a week off work and I'm still in celebratory mood.
Good for you. Let's show you keep it quiet because the police is at the background sort of thing.
I thought we were going to win. I had the confidence from the start. I think the fact that Euros was pushed back a year done us the world of good. I mean, our track record speaks for itself. 34 games unbeaten? And I had a very good feeling. I knew it from the start. I was confident enough to go into work, tell everybody, yeah, you've not got a chance. And little did we know we'd have England in the final. And yeah, very, very impressed. Very impressed.
Fantastic. Good for you. And I've got also as well, got Charlie as well, and I'm coming on as well. And I'm giving him to Charlie. Now he's just having on there.
Nice to have you. Thank you for having me on. I'm excited.
You too. I'm good. I'm fine. Not too bad. I hope you are as well. And guys, if you like videos, please like, subscribe to my channel. I do other subjects as well. I do other pods as well on the channel. So tonight I'm going to talk about Italy's fantastic Euro win. I think it's fantastic, to be quite honest with you. I mean, yeah, if I've got to start with you, Domenico, and yeah, I mean, 7 games they cleared. They came through the group stage quite easily, to be fair. They only came through Austria. Then they played Belgium as the toughest test to get, and they came through that. Spain, I thought it was second best slightly, in my opinion, but they came through that final way. And the big one, the final, they beat Arla, England, by 1 each, and they won on penalties. And yeah, Domenico, how do you feel being a champion?
Well, like I say, I mean, 3 years ago, we didn't qualify for the 2018 World Cup, as we know. Italian football was at its lowest ebb ever. You know, when Roberto Mancini is hired as coach, he comes in, he has a vision. He doesn't straight away moan about the state of Italian football. He knows that the squad they've got, there are some good players that are going to take them to the next tournament and possibly challenge. I have to say, at the start of the tournament, many were saying, oh, Italy are a dark horse given we qualified in style. Obviously, we had an unbeaten streak coming into the tournament. I wasn't being negative. I just thought that maybe we haven't quite got a goal scorer. I think when Nicolo Zaniolo got injured playing on 2 occasions, one Roma and Juventus and then against the Netherlands in the Nations League, I didn't think we had any great pace in teams. So I think things were starting to swing against us. So we come into the tournament and I thought to myself, there was the possibility of playing France or Belgium. I thought to myself, I'll be happy with a quarter or semi-final. But then, you know, France go out in the knockout stage and you think to yourself, well, if we can just stick to our game and see where it takes us. And I think as the tournament went on, again, I can admit Spain was the game where they outplayed us, but they didn't beat us. You know, we're still in there. We got to the final. There was just something about this Italian team, maybe not the greatest ever, no Baggio, Totti or Del Piero, Maldini, but there was something about them. There was the desire, and even going down to this penalty kicks against England in the end, it got us over the line. And it's always been, you know, we've never really cracked it in the Euros, you know, only champions once previously in 1968. So I've got to say the timing of it was unexpected, but I'm lost for words. I'm just so happy. I didn't think Mancini's project was going to come to fruition this quick, but there's still the World Cup and, you know, the future's bright. And there's so many other players to come yet. Like I mentioned, Nicolo Zaniolo, Moise Kean, there's Tonali from AC Milan. There are so many players in abundance waiting in the wings. So the next few tournaments in a few years, whether Mancini stays, whether others come in, it looks bright for certain. And it's been a resurrection of Italian football. I didn't expect the impact within 3 years, having not qualified for the World Cup, to go to Champions of Europe. So I'm pinching myself still to believe it, but proud.
Wow, absolutely right. I mean, well, I watched that game against Sweden and Milan. I didn't go physically, but I watched the match. I was just so embarrassed, sort of thing. Absolutely embarrassed. It was a national tragedy. And although Twitter people come on and were laughing at us to say that they didn't make it, I still get round up that because they felt more Italy than England. But at the end of the day, England's my team, and I hope if England didn't qualify for the finals, I'd definitely join Italy, no question about that. But you're right. I mean, Nicolas Saliola, I mean, he needs to come back soon, like you know, but he's got a long-term injury. He's only, what, 20, 21? And
22 last week.
22 last week. And the guy is just absolutely fantastic. And I think Jose has had some fun with him as well. So on to you, Charlie. Same question to you. How do you feel being a champion? And Dominico spoke some sense there. How do you feel? And did you expect to win it?
I did expect to win it. First of all, I did. I think obviously being pushed back a year of the tournament itself, it worked perfectly in our favour. Absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I've not seen, being a Newcastle fan, I've not actually seen my team lift the trophy. I mean, I was very young for the 2006 World Cup. I loosely remember it, but not as well as I should do. So this was my first proper experience of getting to a final and winning a final. It was a phenomenal experience. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm sad it was at the expense of England, John. I am. Obviously, they are my second team. I would follow them, so it was very, very bittersweet. But going into work and just having the bragging rights, it was a phenomenal feeling. Being a Newcastle fan, being a winner, felt very, very strange, I must say.
Fantastic.
Well, he's lucky. Charlie's lucky actually, because I've had this week off work, so I haven't been able to go in and brag just yet. But that's waiting for a month.
Well, I'm going to have a proper celebration this weekend. I booked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, so I'm going to have a proper celebration this weekend. Didn't get the chance, but I'm going to pour a bottle or two of brandy, that's for sure.
Good for you. You deserve it, man. You know, you absolutely deserve it. I mean, I went to a party in Rome. It's just absolutely fantastic when they won the trophy. Absolutely amazing. Oh, and by the way, there's no trouble, by the way, which I will come on to later on. And but again, the best game Italy played for me was against Belgium. That had everything. 2 goals up, 2 cracking goals, and one for Barella and one for Insigne. And I tell you what, though, I mean, it's had to hold on to the dear life as well and hold the second half. So I think it's done fantastic. And yeah, what's been your best game, Dominico, and the Italians?
The best game, obviously, in the group matches were good. The way we sort of stamped our authority and said this is how we're going to be this tournament. I'd have to agree with you the Belgium game, because obviously going into that we're facing the world's number one, and you know, compared to some other teams, to get them in the quarters, I thought this a bit too soon. Of course, we know Lukaku was the top scorer, won the Capricornera in Serie A this year. So straight away, all the talk is about Lukaku. I think it was also a defensive masterclass in that game. You know, Bonucci and obviously Chiellini comes back into the team for that one against Belgium. I mean, okay, Hazard was missing. De Bruyne wasn't fully fit, but they were still a handful. You know, I mean, to go 2-0 up like we did, a penalty which was debatable, we concede, and straight away something like that, momentum can swing. But in the second half, we saw the Italy, as we know, they defended so brilliantly. We had chances to even extend it. We lose Leonardo Spinazzola, and you think, is our luck now starting to run out, or is it now going to go against us? But I have to agree. I think the Belgium-Italy game was then, I really, truly believe deep down, even though I didn't go around saying it, I thought to myself, we're going to win the competition. I whispered it silently. I knew Spain was to come, but obviously it wasn't the Spain that had dominated us in the past. There was no more Xavi, Iniesta, Fabregas, Xabi Alonso. So it wasn't the Spain, although they were still a decent team, it wasn't the Spain that we knew of. Yes, we got outplayed by them, but I think the display against Belgium, when you've knocked out the world number one and one of the favourites for the tournament, I think that was the real start when I really, truly believed we could win this competition.
Yeah, I said it was going to win it from day one anyway, and I was proved right as well, you guys as well. And same question for you, Charlie. Your best game for Italians.
Best performance would be the Belgian game, without a doubt. It looked, like you say, it had absolutely everything. But my favourite game was the Spain game. I know we stuck in, we grind out a result, we were fighting on the back, but just the fact that we ended up pulling it to the penalties, and then we beat them on penalties. Just Chiellini, just doing the gamesmanship with Jordi Alba at the end, just pure putting them on edge. That was the game that really made me feel we're here to win this. We're not messing around. We dug deep. We really, really dug deep, and we took it to penalties and actually won. That was the performance that really made me proud. But best performance was probably, it has to be the Belgium game.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there, guys, as well. And guys, if you do like the video, could you please leave comments in the live sections, and also could you please smash like, subscribe if you are new. But keep those live comments coming through. It'll be absolutely amazing. If you've got any questions for the guys, don't hesitate. they'd be quite happy to answer your questions. So yeah, I mean, for you guys, the player for me, the player of the tournament, for me, it's a hard one for me, but I'm going to go with Spinazzola because I think he's been absolutely amazing. This sort of thing, no question about that. I mean, the same questions go to Domenico, and why?
I would have said Spinazzola if not for the injury. I probably would have even said Jorginho had he scored the winning penalty against England. I would say though for me it's between Bonucci and Donnarumma. I would have to say I agree with the player of the tournament's decision, Gianluigi Donnarumma, the goalkeeper, because I mean if you even look in the shootout, he saved against Spain, but in the shootout when it's not gone our way, but bear in mind Belotti misses against England, he then makes 2 saves. Okay, Rashford makes a mess of his penalty, we know that, but to deny Sancho and Saka, even if it was they've come on late in the game. You've got to remember is you've got the home fans behind you, and Donnarumma, as tall as he was, like a brick wall, he was determined that we were going to win that on penalties. And I think his displays in general, to have had Buffon for so long as we did in goal, it's not easy to replace someone like him. But for Donnarumma to come in, he's taken to it, straight away from day one. Even in the friendly when we played England and it drew 1-1 at Wembley, that game, I think a lot of people said to me, "Your new goalkeeper, there's something about him." So I would have to say Donnarumma, not just because of the shootout, but I think his overall performance in the tournament in general. I mean, the first goal he concedes is a penalty. Okay, I mean, that was a bit of a disaster on the defender on the first England when Luke Shaw ran in to score against Italy. But for me, I would have to say Donnarumma. I think he's definitely stood out. Other than that, I mean, Bonucci and Chiellini have also been a defensive masterclass, but Gianluigi Donnarumma for me, without a doubt.
Yeah. Got to agree with you there, mate. I got to agree with you. Harry Kane need to want to see those two at the back again. Sort of, he didn't even get near them, did he, Charlie? He didn't even get near them.
Didn't. They were phenomenal. Just special shout out to Bonucci and Chiellini, especially. They were fantastic. Donnarumma as well. Just to say, oldest looking 21-year-old in the world, quite literally. 21 years old, 6'7". Is it 6'6" or 6'7"? Either or. Absolute specimen, massive. I wouldn't quite give him a player of the tournament, although he was integral to what we did. His penalty saves were phenomenal. Some of the saves he made were absolutely fantastic. Got caught out by Luke Shaw at the near post. He should have saved that one, but at the same time, nobody was expecting Luke Shaw to hit that ball that sweet. That was phenomenal. Shout out for that goal as well. But my player of the tournament, it's Chiellini. Has to be Chiellini. I know we missed a lot. I know we missed a few games for injury. But without his presence, without his leadership, we would not have won that. Not a chance. Chiellini, 100%.
Yeah, gotta be. I can go Charles Spinazzola, and I'll definitely go for Chiellini as well. And I think
he is definitely my surprise of the tournament. I didn't think he was going to be that good. Obviously, being an inverted wing back, you don't really see that much nowadays. But I can't sing his praises enough. Jose Mourinho is going to have a lot of fun with him. I'm telling you that now.
Yeah, definitely. And also Zaniolo, if he is fit. I think I'm going to come on to Serie A later on as well, by the way. And the fixture list has come out, and there's been some interesting ones as well. I've got my top four is going to be my top four next season. Come on to it later on. Yeah, I mean, like I said, are they going to play in the World Cup? Chiellini and Bonucci, do you think they're going to play in the World Cup in 2018 for the last?
Yeah, we haven't got centre backs coming through, do we? I mean, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I think they will be. I think they will be there for the World Cup in Qatar. I really do. I think they'll be starting. I think they'll be the focal point of our team. But at the same time, we've not really got any standout centre-backs coming through that you actually look at and go, he's going to reach the levels that they have in the past. I mean, no, I'm not confident about our defence going forwards. But attacking-wise, we've got a lot of young players coming through. Barella, I mean, Spinazzola's quite young as well. But, yeah, the centre-backs are a big concern for me.
Yeah, you got Bastoni as well for in the Milan. I mean, is he ready for the national stage?
He's not yet. He needs some game time first.
Needs a game time. He does. And Romagnoli as well, the Milan captain as well. Yeah. Is he ready for the
player? He's a good player, but we need to see them in the next to Chiellini or next to Bonucci, just to give them a little bit of game time with them to learn off the best. I don't know. I'm not 100% confident with centre backs going forwards, but goalkeeper, we're sorted for the next 15, 20 years, easy. No problem.
And same with you, Domenico. Italy going to win the World Cup next year, and also are you confident with the centre backs like Charlie's mentioned? Are you confident with them? If Bonucci and Chiellini?
I think Giorgio Chiellini, I don't think he's going to play in the next World Cup. I think now is maybe the time for him to go out. I think having won the tournament, because you have to remember he retired from international, and then Roberto Mancini has recalled him. So I think this, for me, it's the perfect way for him to go out. I'm sure Bonucci will be there. Like you say, Bastoni is waiting in the wings as well. Now, the next World Cup, as we know it, it's in Qatar. I think we know the controversy surrounding that World Cup. And of course, it's in the winter. So it's going to be a bit of a red herring World Cup in that respect. Again, like I say, you've got the other teams from South America. I mean, Argentina have just beaten Brazil in the Copa Libertadores as well. So they're going to be, I'm sure, with Lautaro Martinez, look at the season he had at Inter Milan. It's going to be a strange World Cup. I think after this tournament success, when we won the World Cup in 2006, standards started to drop. I think there was a acceptance that we'd won it, and the Italian Federation didn't build on it. I think this is now a start to push forward. Will we win it? It's going to be hard, but we have to be challenging. I think at least be looking at the semi-final again in that one to win it and go the extra mile. Of course, we all want, but it's going to be strange in Qatar. But Mancini has definitely got some players waiting in the wing, like we've already mentioned. So if that's what we've done in the Euros and they're yet to come into the team, there's every reason to be optimistic for the future, without doubt.
Yeah, I totally agree there. You got Federico Chiesa as well. He's the focal point as well for me.
Amazing player.
He is absolutely class. I mean, I heard rumours that Chelsea wants him as well from Juve, but he's on a 2-year loan deal from Fiorentina sort of thing. So I think Juve is going to pay for the money for him. I just cannot see him selling Chiesa to Chelsea. There's no way. I just cannot see it.
I think he needs to continue his development in Italy for now. I don't think he's good enough to make that step, but a couple more years of first team football, maybe when he's about 26, then move to the Premier League. I mean, he's earning good enough money. If he wants to continue, he should continue over there, get his experience, and then make the move. I mean, he's a phenomenal player. He's one of those different makers, isn't he? Every time he gets the ball, he's always looking to go past a man, cut inside, shoot. I mean, he's a phenomenal player. Phenomenal. I didn't think he was. I didn't think he was good. No, continue.
Yeah, he's going to say so.
I was just going to say also, you just have to remember, I suppose Chiesa wasn't really starting until he comes on as a sub in the Austria game. After that, he starts the remaining games. So I think that was another key feature when this tournament started to swing our way as well. To come on as a sub and score against Austria, he's then playing against Belgium. And in the first half, when we looked on the ropes against England at the final, he was a bright light and he was giving the English defence all sorts of problems. And it was a shame he went off injured, obviously, challenged from Kyle Walker. But like I say, the minute he came into the team, I'm not saying Berardi worked hard, but I think he has just had that extra edge to Domenico Berardi. My namesake's Domenico V. But and like I say, Pickford had to make a couple of saves to deny him in the final as well. So he's got years ahead of him as well, and he's already won one major tournament. So it adds Moise, Zaniolo, and many other players. It's looking good for the future for sure.
And just as you mentioned Pickford, I know this is an Italian show where me and John are Newcastle fans. I'm the first person to give Pickford all the shit he deserves. But I must say, he was phenomenal in the final. Phenomenal. Made some fantastic saves. The penalty save from Jorginho was absolutely phenomenal. I've got to give him a shout out. He was brilliant that game. But once the season starts, I'm back to my old ways. I could do one.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Right, Charlo, due to that. Now, who played that ball over the top for Berardi and he followed it over, did he? It was a 60-yard pass. That's a Jorginho.
I tell you what, John, that's not even in my memory. Couldn't tell you.
I mean, late in the second half.
I think it was either Cristante.
Say it again, Dominic.
I think it was either him or Cristante that played that ball for Berardi.
Yeah, that was a cracking pass. And I've been in the back of the net. My God, that would have just. Well, you know what? That would have been superb because England's been playing the long balls all the time, and Cristante, if it's him, then wow, what a pass! What an absolute pass! Stupid.
He came on and did well. He came on and did really well. I was happy with him because I've not seen that much of him, so I was a little bit skeptical when he came on because I've not seen him play in the flesh. I've seen him play maybe once or twice. So I was a little bit sceptical when he came on, but I was impressed. He dominated the midfield well, especially going up against the opponents that he was. He did pretty well.
Yeah, exactly. I think he did well. Probably give him a 7 out of 10, Cristante, if I'm my way. I've got some comments coming through, by the way, guys. I've got Ryan here, Chelsea supporter. Congrats on getting Willock back. You have fun.
Oh, don't get my hopes up like that.
Yeah, they did the ban us from the World Cup. I only threw 10 full Monster Energy cards, and I blood over my face. Oh, bless them. He said that yesterday, but I did my the team of my team of the tournament there, sort of thing. But they're trying to get England banned from the World Cup. That would be absolutely harsh. Do you know what I mean? That would set their sound point. I got David as well. Give him to David. Please subscribe to my channel, mate. I hope you're okay. See the guy on Twitter. He talks a lot of sense. Any views on tactical and innovation during the tournament? Mancini certainly demonstrated a flexibility of possible future blueprint. What do you think of that one, guys?
So that's the thing with Mancini. He can do whatever he wants. His tactical analysis is phenomenal. He can play whatever system he likes. He's comfortable playing what he wants with the players he's got behind him. Not a problem. I mean, we could switch to 3 at the back. We could go to 4 at the back. We could go from a 4-2-3-1. We could have a 4-3-3 with a holding midfielder. I mean, we could do anything. That's Mancini is phenomenal. He's going to take us right to the very top. I'm telling you. I've got a good feeling about the next World Cup as well. I think at least the final. I'm not saying we'll win it, but I think we'll get to the final next season. As long as Mancini is still in charge, because he has been absolutely integral to what we have been doing recently. I wouldn't be there without him. Not a chance. Not a chance.
Do you agree with that one there, Dom?
I think so, yeah. I mean, he's contracted till 2026. So I think with Mancini, if he stays in charge, he said he does want to go back to club management one day.
I'd love to see him as
well.
well.
I think having now just tournament, it might persuade him to think, well, we can go on to even bigger things after this. So I think, also Mancini is from day one, he set out his formation. He never changed the system. Obviously, like we mentioned, Chiesa for Berardi. Obviously, Florenzi gets injured, then Di Lorenzo comes in, Spinazzola gets injured, in comes Emerson. But he stuck to his vein, unlike, Gareth Southgate and some other coaches that changed some of their formation in certain games. It was his way of saying, this is the way we're going to play, this is how we're going to do it. And he stuck to his ways, Mancini. And, I think his winning mentality and experience from the past factor in that final especially.
Yeah, I've got to totally agree there. When he comes in and he's very flexible, he's brilliant for Man City, brilliant wherever he has been. And I'll agree with you. He's starting his best formation now. It's a 4-3-3 for me. And I just think he's been absolutely brilliant. I'd love to take him to Newcastle United if there's a takeover going on. No problems at all.
John, don't get me started. He would be my first choice, my very first choice.
Yeah, shout out me. I said to me, would be sending a new 4-year deal. So, and this is Lucas Life. He's a Guna, Campione Europa, and he said, "Big up, John. We run Euros as well. You have done. You have done. That's an England fan. Plus, there you go. I got Lee Taylor as well. Lee, hope you okay.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% on that one, Lee.
Food, without doing side, here's a SMB. And I've got Lee again. Those idiots on Sunday don't respect the real supporters like us. I'll comment on one later on. I got Lee again. Andrea Bellotti was also season in Italy. I thought, he's done okay. I wouldn't say outstanding, but he did okay, I guess.
He scored the penalty against Spain. That'll do.
That's about it. And then
I really don't rate our strike force. I mean, two goals between them the whole tournament, or one.
Yeah,
between him, it's phenomenal. I can't believe it. I mean,
fully scored, didn't he? So
for what he does at club level, how we can't transfer it across to the international stage with better players around, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't, because he's a phenomenal player, but not. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't compute in my brain. I don't get it, honestly. They're great.
I just don't get it either. Maybe raised the steppers too big for them. I don't know. Brilliant club players on an international stage. I think. I mean, Jamal is 31 and Bellotti is 28. So yeah, need to get goals. And I got Lee again. See, a lot of English people jump on the Italian bandwagon. Well, Italian's always been second national team. So I got Tom League again. I put Emerson, to be fair, but he put a really good shit. I thought he played well, Emerson, I thought he did really well.
Coming in for Spinazzola, I was very wary. Obviously, he'd only played like two games for Chelsea in the previous season, so I was very, very nervous about him coming in, but I was impressed. No, I was impressed by him. He deserves more game time. He deserves to go to a club where he can play regularly. Maybe a move back to Italy is probably on the cards for him. That will do him the world of good.
Yeah, Napoli's after him as well, I believe. So
brilliant for him. Brilliant for him.
Brilliant move, which I'll come to.
He's a national hero now, so we've got to treat him with respect.
Absolutely, totally agree. Yeah, I don't. I've got James Brown, not the singer James Brown. Sadly, the actual James Brown sadly passed away years ago, but he's a great guy. Even my guy, even to you. Hope you're okay. And Belati Mo, Newcastle player. Well, I take
Newcastle. Right.
Good.
I'll take Newcastle over Callum Wilson.
I do rate him, but for me, I would say winning cup in the Premier League, I'm not sure. But I'm not going to knock Andrea Bellotti because he is a fantastic player for Torino. And if he needs to go for a bigger club, now's the time to leave Torino now because they only just stayed up this season.
He's not getting any younger, is he?
He's not. He's 28 now, isn't he? So
he is a good player, but he wouldn't cut it in the Premier League. He definitely wouldn't.
I just don't think he will. I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't think he will.
He wouldn't. He wouldn't.
You've got Newcastle all type of club. I've got some
serious injuries as well.
Yeah, he's had a few inches as well, hasn't he? So he shouldn't haven't helped him at all. But his work rate is excellent. I'm not going to doubt that.
You can't fault that.
But for me, I mean, is he going to get 20 goals in the Premier League? Remains to be seen.
He's a 5-goal a season striker, max. Maybe if he's playing for a Liverpool or a Man City, maybe a couple more. But if he's playing in a team like Newcastle with 5 at the back, 2 older midfielders, he wouldn't even score a goal out. I reckon he'd be Joe Linton. He'd be a victim of our system. He'd be a victim of our play style. It's not a chance. Not a chance. And his finishing's okay, but when you've got that half a second less in the Premier League to make these decisions, and don't think he would cut it. But obviously, you can't tell until he actually comes and does it. But I don't think we'll see him in the English game.
Nah, I don't think he'll come to England anyway. I think he's staying in Italy, sort of thing, when he's making it him. And I hope he stays there because I think he'd be a quality player. Whoever gets him in Italy,
or even in France. Do you know what I mean? Marseille could do with him.
Yeah, Marseille could do with him. I think he'd do well there. I got James. Well, would you take Manchester United, Newcastle if a takeover went through? James 100%. Yes, I would. No doubt about it. He'd be. In fact, he will be my first choice.
I'd give my house away for free for that.
Yes. Yeah, taking it all day long. No question. And the rest of euros and Luca, Chelsea quality man. Yeah, do keep this live comments coming through and also some more views coming on as well. So I was going to say, we're just going to come to that later. I'm going to talk about these Sunday's carnage on a Sunday where all the fans tried to get into Wembley Stadium. They drink in, and there's been a lot of scuffles as well. They try to get in through the disabled end into the stadium. There's 67,000 there, right? But there's a lot more than that. It looked like capacity, right? And most of the fans got in without tickets. I mean, according to Metropolitan Police, they said that game could have got called off. And do you think the security is crap in this country when it comes to football? Because I can tell you now, this will never happen in Rome. There's no way.
No, not a chance. No. But the fans in Rome wouldn't behave like that anyway. No. I don't know what came over them. I mean, it's phenomenal. Some of the stuff that was said after the game as well. I mean, it's hard to touch it without actually annoying anybody because you don't know what sides people are on. But
yeah, okay, yeah.
Personally, despicable, disgusting. It's just a stain on the nation, really. I mean, let's put the World Cup, hosting the World Cup in the future. Let's put that in major jeopardy. I mean, the actions of a select few, obviously not the entire fan base as a whole, were just despicable. Despicable.
Do you agree with that, Dom?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I've actually spoken to people that went to Wembley, and I'm talking fans from both Italy and on the England divide of the match. And England fan I was speaking to, he was behind the goal where there was the shootout. And he said that during that game, even the actual walkways to the stadium was full of people. He said that from the start of the game, he couldn't even go to the toilet during the match because the staircase was absolutely covered. And if he'd have gone, he'd have lost his seat. There were other fans coming in that showed the tickets to the steward, and the steward just said, "We can't do anything about it. You can't sit in the seat." Now, when you look at this country, when there's been events like the Royal Wedding, the Olympics, the security has been fantastic, spot on. And I trusted the security to have got this right. They were clearly didn't plan. It does not look like there was enough police. And with COVID, you thought even restrictions would have been tighter. It just seemed for that many fans to get into the stadium in the aftermath. I think this country, I think the actual FA have let themselves down. Like Charlie's already said, it's put the 2030 World Cup bid in jeopardy. It's given a bad reputation that England fans, and it's not all of them, it is only a small minority that have let them down. It's given the bad image back again that was tarnished. And, Prince William there as well, they've just not helped themselves at all. They've ruined, a few idiots have ruined it for the rest. But I think the security, like you say, the Metropolitan Police would have had so long to have planned this. I mean, they say that they were overwhelmed by the amount of fans that broke in. They didn't think the crowd was going to be that much. But at the end of it, they've had how long to organise a tournament? Yeah, we didn't know England were going to be in the final. But I think they have to look at themselves. Oh, that's to be a review. And we don't really to be seeing things like that on a match, on the show, big showcases that is on the stage when the whole world is watching. It's just, I think what was otherwise a good tournament has kind of soured it a bit, But overall, let's enjoy it. It was a great tournament. We can't take nothing away from that. But I think like you say, I think the security is bad, and it's about time they do step up the measures. You don't see that sort. I mean, we've already had this year when the fans broke into Old Trafford. So it's not just where like Wembley was a one-off incident this year. They're not doing any good for the game at the end of it. Fans, I can understand fans get frustrated, but get onto the pitch at Old Trafford now. The scenes at Wembley, they're not helping themselves at the end of it.
Well said, well said. My opinion is as well. I mean, they knew the fans were going to turn up about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, starting drinking, right, causing havoc, and as the day went on, then you're going to cause a bob ass. Listen. I love having fun. There's no harm having fun and having a good time, and banter sort of thing, singing as well, and good nature. I've been to Italy, sort of thing. Went to watch Newcastle against Inter Milan, and we caused absolutely no trouble whatsoever. That sort of thing. It was a great time. But when you get people going into disabled, jumping over gates and that, having to go security and going in without tickets and causing problems, then it's going to give us a bad name again. For me, in my opinion, are we going to host the World Cup in 2030? Probably not. Not after this. No way. And also, I posted on Twitter on that Sunday, and I said that this carnage would never ever happen in Rome. No way, right? And then I've got people, and they're having a go at us, saying that I'm being boring. I had a few people told to F off, right? Which I blocked them, right? And then people apologize to us on a DM sort of thing, saying, "Oh, John, I'm sorry. What you said is correct, yeah." But I just don't want apologies. I just say, shut your apologies. Stop it. Because at the end of the day, you're the one who told us to F off. You're the one having a go at us. You're the one saying I'm being boring. I'm the one who's causing havoc. Well, no, I'm speaking the truth. Do you know what I mean? Howie, this will never happen in Rome. The policing, I can guarantee in Italy, is much, much better and more organized as well. I can guarantee you that. They wouldn't dare at the way in Rome like they did at Wembley. There's absolutely no way. Because I'm telling you, because our policing in this country, guys, are too soft. Do you agree?
100%. 100%.
You know what I mean? It is so frustrating. It really is. I'll go into comments as well quickly. I've got things coming up. Favorite Italian player of all time. His is going to be Maldini. He could have got to any starting 11 at any club, but he'd be being loyal to AC Milan. I love Maldini. For me, all time, Roberto Baggio.
Oh, do you know what? I'm going to be a bit edgy here and say David Santon.
I would actually say he's best Italian. David Santon. Newcastle link, that's why.
Indeed. I mean, and he was an inverted right back as well.
For me,
I think he's frozen. I think he's
frozen. Your connection.
I didn't play for Roma against Lazio, David Santon.
Oh, your connection just completely went. You just finished then and said he went. I literally just heard David Santon at the end. Your connection just completely went.
Is that me or is that Dominic?
Dominic.
Dominic, yeah.
I believe.
I still can't hear him,
So
Dominic.
the connection's okay. I mean, I don't know what's going on there. I'd have to say,
I think
hear
he's
us
frozen.
now.
Frozen again, Dominic.
I'd have to say,
Yeah, he's still loses his connection there.
Dominic, you're gonna have to get off that old BT Wi-Fi, man.
Yeah, he's got it. He's got it.
You're sort of there. You're sort of there.
It'd be Sky super fast.
Yay!
I would have to say the best I ever saw. I mean, I'm a fan of strikers, Roberto Baggio for me, I would have to say. And he's definitely the greatest Italian player, along with Maldini, that never won a World Cup. So I would say Roberto Baggio is my favourite of all time.
Yeah, I totally agree. Absolutely brilliant name. I'll go through these comments quickly because I've got a few there. James said the match should have got called off, in my opinion, because anything could have happened inside of Wembley. Yeah, I have to agree. It could have been another hill splash sort of things goes on. When would they ever learn? Absolutely ridiculous. I've got David again being totally fair to Wembley and the police. You could not think the best part of 200k people would turn up without tickets. Oh, that is true.
For the first time England have been in the finals for, I'm not quite sure how long, but the first time they've been in the finals for many, many years, the whole country was just in complete euphoria. You could see it coming a million miles away. Everybody wanted to be at that game. Every single person in the country wanted to be at that game. They should have seen it coming from a million miles away. They should have.
You're right. And I tell you, this will not happen in 1966. This will not happen in Italy. This will not happen in America. Honestly, it wouldn't.
People were courteous back then, though.
Exactly. I've got James again. Go on, Dom. It's frozen again. I'll go through this comments here.
Well, one thing I'd have to say, I mean, after the carnage, I think the carnage that we saw at Wembley at the weekend, would they have been better perhaps not letting fans congregate on Wembley Way for the game? To be there from 11 o'clock onwards, they all descend on the stadium. And I think it was a disaster waiting to happen, to be fair. And, for the people, you've seen the images on the news, people jumping on to the stadium, climbing up, and they're not even being challenged by the security. So it's given the English room after hosting such a great competition, otherwise some of the matches, it's something they really could have done without.
Yeah, well said, well said. This is a strange one. This is an interesting one. James, I read somewhere the other day that a group of supporters gave the stewards 200 quid to get into Wembley. Surely some have asked.
I heard it was 500.
Is that true? 500 quid?
Oh, well, it's all hearsay.
I've heard all sorts of story.
And then he's added, I can imagine the scenes on Sunday would have put a lot of
stories. Some people have said they've given wallets full of.
Yeah, I agree with him. I totally agree. I mean, 500 quid, a grand. Wow. I tell you what, they'll take that money. They'll take it for the sake of that job.
I would. I'm not going to lie. I've done security. I've done security before. If you want to slip me 500 quid, I'll show you the back door, mate. Not a problem.
Fair enough. Make sure that people at security don't hear you, my guy. Bless you. I'm going to wrap this up in these comments quickly, and we're going to talk about Serie A. And Lisa, the mum shouted, "Yet, John." The mum shouted, "Yet, John," like she did the other night when she discovered Joe Linton. Listen, I'll get one of Linton. I'm not a fan of him. And James said, "Von Police will snap you in half. It needs to be, but over here in Britain, we're a lot softer. We're such a soft country. We really, really are."
Bunch of fairies.
And then we've got Billy here, my favourite Italian player, central defence, of course, Scirea and Claudio Gentile. Scirea and Culture and Gentile was the ultimate hatchet man. Together, World Cup winners in '82. I tell you what, Gentile, if he played today, I'll tell you something now, it would be worth absolute millions. It'd be unsellable at Juve.
Never seen him play, to be honest. I think that's pushing past my time just a little bit.
I've seen enough.
Yeah.
I didn't see him play. I've seen the videos enough of '82 World Cup. If you ever watch it, he does a good job of man marking Maradona. Of course, nowadays there's VAR, certain things he wouldn't get away with, but Gentile, he took no prisoners, that is for certain.
And I tell you what, though, he'd be
back in 1 second.
Yeah, go for it, man. He is absolutely pulling his hair there, Gentile. He takes no prisoners. He's a winner. He knows how to tackle. And I tell you what, he takes you out when he needs to. Could you imagine him facing Harry Kane today? Oh, Kane will not get near him. You're not getting near
Well,
him.
it's funny you mentioned Harry Kane. I didn't realise till they said that Kane didn't touch the ball in the 18-yard box the whole final. And that's the England's captain and the main lead talisman. Didn't touch the ball once in the 18-yard box. Unbelievable, phenomenal display by Bonucci and Chiellini there, that's for sure.
Wow. And people saying that Harry Kane's world class. Is he world class, Harry Kane?
I would. This is again. I mean, when you say someone's world class, it's one for debate. I think for him to be world class, and I mean, he's the best striker. There's no, you can't question that. I just think. I mean, I'm going to get so much grief from Spurs fans now. I think for him to establish himself as world class, he has to leave Spurs and also as well winning a major trophy, because we all know his goal scoring record is impressive. No one's disputing that. But he has to leave Spurs, in my opinion, if he wants to establish himself as a great and win major trophies. Because at Spurs, it's not going to happen. They reckon Man City. There's talk of Real Madrid. I would say he has to now go to that next level, but it's not going to happen if he stays with Spurs.
Yeah, I totally agree there. Listen, I say he's a very, very good striker. I agree with you. But is he world class? That's what he's got to have to move on from Spurs to become a world-class striker. And like you said, he's got to win a trophy as well, which he has not done yet. And he's got to win trophies. He won some medals. He's 27, 28. He needs to fix up very, very quickly and move on to the better.
28.
He's a world-class finisher, but for me, he ain't a world-class player. He's a world-class finisher, not a world-class fan. Everyone, especially in the Premier League, is bigging him up. And he's got to win trophies as well. Look at Romelu Lukaku. I mean, who would you pick, Kane or Lukaku? For me, I've got to have to say Lukaku because he's a finisher. And not all that, he's all-rounder. I just remember talking about Harry Kane. Is he, in your opinion, Chad, do you think Harry Kane's a world-class player? Can't hear you. You're mute. You're mute.
Can you hear me now?
I can. Much better.
Did you ask world class? What Harry Kane is he a world class player? Ooh, does a bear defecate in the woods? Phenomenal player. Highly world class. Best striker in the Premier League, without a doubt. Not quite the best striker in Europe, I wouldn't say. I think Erling Haaland is by far the best striker in the world at the moment. Mbappe's ahead of him. But I would say they're the only two players in the world that are ahead of him in striking terms. Well, Harry Kane, best striker in England, world class, phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about he is world class, but is he better than Haaland? Is he better than Mbappe? Not in a minute. Not at the minute.
I would say he is probably what you were saying before. I would rather have Lukaku than Kane, just purely for the fact that he's just not as injury prone as Harry Kane. And you've got to think about those things. And plus, Harry Kane is aging now. He's got legs of glass. I mean, he's got about 4 years, 2-3 years at the top level, and then he's going to start withering down. His injuries will start catching up with him. He's not getting close to Shearer's record, that's for sure. I
can't see it. I just cannot see it. I mean, Lukaku, he's class. End of the day, there's 4. I'll put Harry Kane 3rd or 4th for me. You've got Haaland, Lukaku, Mbappe, and Kane. And everyone saying that he's world class. He is world class, but not in front of those three I just mentioned.
Not the best, but world class, yeah, for sure.
Not yet. I got Dave said, like you just mentioned, Dom, I don't think Kane had a shot in the final. Great display by the Juve pair.
He was dropping too deep. He was dropping too deep, trying to get the ball. His teammates were too far back. The worst thing that happened in that game was Luke Shaw scoring early. Worst thing that could possibly have happened. If they would have actually scored that goal, carried on playing the same game that we're playing, we would have folded over. We would have folded over. I've not even got two minds about that. We would have lost that game if they would have continued the same game plan from the start. They scored that early goal and just decided to sit 10, 15 yards deeper and just let us play. They let us play into the game and they let us win the game. And Harry Kane, you saw him, he had to keep coming in. He was coming into midfield just to try and supply the wingers and then doing a dart forward, trying to get that ball in. It just wasn't working. Bonucci and Chiellini saw it every day of the week. It was
Fair enough. And I still think Lee would have found a way. I thought they played some cracking football after 20 minutes and that sort of thing, but couldn't find a way. I got Billy again. Harry is a world-class finisher, but that doesn't have the pace to be a world-class footballer. And I mean, Lukaku's got pace anyway, and he can take on players, which is absolutely brilliant. And if you pick a world 11, would Kane get in it? If not, he ain't in it. Then he ain't.
So there's only 11 world-class players in the world, is there?
What he's meant, I think Billy's meant to see it. I think he's asking probably the Euro one, yeah.
If you pick someone in the world 11, I mean, no.
I think Kane. Well, I mean, you would say Mbappe's got the more power, but I would at the end of it, Kane scored goals in the tournament, and Mbappe didn't. I mean, at the same time, Mbappe won a World Cup and Kane hasn't. So there's so many world-class strikers to pick. I think you've got Lukaku and Mbappe. Maybe Kane is just that level below. I mean, would we want him in the Italy team? Of course we love like Kane at the moment because we haven't got a physical presence up front. And like Immobile, a bit like Giuseppe Signori, scored all the time for Lazio, but he struggled with the national team.
Kane is exactly what Italy actually needs. A finisher, somebody who can take those first-time shots, somebody who can get in these positions. He's exactly what we need. I get what you're saying, Billy, with obviously not having the pace as well, but he's a finisher, and that's what a striker is. Alan Shearer wasn't blessed with pace. He's the best striker that's ever played the game. I mean, I wouldn't go that far because that's Newcastle bias in my place, but one of the best who played the game, and he wasn't blessed with his pace. He was just blessed with raw physical power. And a natural finishing ability, which nobody else had, and it just set him ahead. Everyone in that time era. I mean, you had good players at the time, obviously Ian Wright and all them coming through, but no, he was the best finisher in the game, and that made him the best striker, and it made him the top goal scorer. And it's as simple as that. As long as you're a finisher and you're playing up front on your own, you let your wingers run in behind, get the wing backs getting the balls in the box. I mean, you don't have to have the pace. Let everybody else have it. Just make sure you're the lone forward. Make sure you're onside, scoring the goals.
Yeah. I totally agree. 100%. I mean, there's another striker as well could have made a world the Euros, and that's Caputo, plays for Sassuolo. He's been scoring goals for fun, hasn't he, for Sassuolo? Would you have made? I mean, he didn't make it to the Euros. Do you think Caputo would make it to the World Cup? I mean, he's 34 now, and he still scores goals for Sassuolo.
He's not a player on my radar.
You can never say never. I can say Raspadori. Raspadori to swallow the team will be at the last minute. So I think there is. You're probably asking a bit much for Caputo to come in the squad, and we've mentioned the likes of players already waiting in the wings. He would just miss out on the squad unless there is a severe injury list.
You just mentioned Raspadori there. I think he's going to be fantastic I think he's going to be absolutely brilliant. I mean, he's got pace, he's got goals, and I think he'll be playing games this season, let me tell you. He'll be playing games for Sassuolo, and I look forward to seeing this guy and see what he does. But he's Italian international, and let's hope he does well.
34 years of age, though. I don't think he'll quite make the next one.
Yeah.
I don't think he will be 35 by the time it comes around. It's a shame, but he still got scoring the goals for the former Empoli striker there. I got Billy again. So he had pace until the bad injuries. He then remodeled his game to suit what he did have, and he has been fantastic. He's still got 20 goals anyway, no matter what. But we'll come on to Serie A. It's coming up in starting in a month's time, and the fixture list has come out. And I look at the games. I mean, the third game of the season will be Napoli, Juve, and Milan, Lazio. And I tell you what, though, I'm looking at it, right? I mean, the teams that's going to worry us in a minute, and that's going to be Fiorentina. Last season, they had a shocking season, yeah? And they got Vincenzo Italiano from Spezia as their new head coach. And I just hope that Fiorentina do a lot better sort of thing, because for me, I could see them in trouble this season. What do you think, guys? Start with you, Domenico.
Well, it's funny you asked about Fiorentina because that's my brother's team. So he's now going to be watching this. So whatever I say about Fiorentina, yeah, I've got to be careful how I say this. I think Fiorentina in recent years have been unlucky that they've had the big players sold. Obviously, Jordan Veretout went to Roma. Udinese then went to Juventus. There's still Castrovilli. Obviously, Frank Ribery has gone. The new owner that took over Fiorentina, of course, he wants to redevelop the Artemio Franchi. The local council aren't letting him. It just feels like his plans for the club have not really even got. They haven't even laid any foundations yet. Fiorentina, and I cannot see them challenging for the top 4. I think if they get into the top 8, then that is an achievement. But they just seem to fall away behind the likes of the top 6 or 8 teams. I mean, even Sassuolo finishing above them. So I think obviously keeping Castrovilli is going to be the next step. As we know, Frank Ribery has gone. So obviously, I mean, my brother's going to like me for saying this. I just don't think Fiorentina will be able to challenge for the top 8 this year. If they get into Europe, then they've done well, or they obviously win the Coppa Italia. That's an achievement. I just don't think that they've got the economic power to compete with those clubs that I've already mentioned, in my opinion.
Same thing for you, Charlie. Just for you to answer that question, don't forget they still got Vjalovic as well. He scored 22 goals last season. Without his scores, they'd be relegated. They will be relegated. And
I'll expect them to struggle this season. I think talking of Coppa Nazionale finals and top 8 finishes, no, not a chance. Scraping relegation last season, top 10, absolute max. I think there's too many good teams in the Italian league now. Unless they're actually going to pull out the checkbook this season, spend a bit of money, I don't think they're going to do much.
They've already spent 22 million on Nicolas Gonzalez from Stuttgart.
Yeah.
And I'm not seeing that clear.
We'll see how he adapts to the Italian league, but it's not really that much money now in the grand scheme of things, is it? 22 million. Yeah, 22 million now, and you just go, well, it's one of them, isn't it?
I know. Yeah, there's a lot of money for Fiorentina to fork and sort of thing, and they have to hit the ground.
Did you say they've got new owners in?
Fiorentina has.
Have they? I wasn't aware of that.
They had it for a couple of seasons now, like sort of thing. But,
yeah, Italian bought them 2 or 3 seasons ago. Rocky, I forget his name.
Rocky.
But I mean, they haven't had to sell Veretout and Chiesa under his ownership. And now if they were to sell Vlahovic, I think there's the fans are going to become disillusioned about all these ambitions and plans that he started that he promised at the start. That's just not coming to fruition.
No, I mean the thing is though, they had 3 managers before. 4 managers they had. They had Acini, so he got sacked. Brought in Pandeli, but it was too emotional for him. Because I spoke to someone the other day. It's too emotional for him and emotional attached. So you out the way. And they got Iachini back again to the end of the season. He's gone. And now they got Italiano for Spezia. He should have stayed at Spezia for another season, sort of, and then go for the big club. But it's a bold move by Viola, and he has to hit the ground running. And because these Fiorentina fans are not patient at all whatsoever.
No Italian fans are patient. None.
Nah, but Fiorentina are one of the worst. I can remember back in 1992, they went through 4 managers before they got relegated. And Batistuta stayed because he wanted to stay because he loved that club. He could have gone away, but he wanted to stay and get it back up, which they did. And I mean, I look at my top 4 for me this season. I don't know who's your guys is. Who do you think is going to be your top 4? And who's going to win the Lo Scudetto? I'm going to start with Dom.
Did you say me or Dom?
Dominic.
To win the Scudetto. Well, I would have liked to say, obviously, it's interesting with what's going on with Inter Milan. I mean, it looks like a fire sale. Most players are up for sale. I don't think Inter Milan will retain it. One, because of the players they're going to have to sell, if possible, which looks the case. I don't think Simone Inzaghi, he's done well with Lazio. I just don't think he's going to be able to retain the Scudetto for them. I would have to say, I think you'd be looking at Juventus and possibly Milan. I mean, Roma now with Jose Mourinho, that could upset the order in Serie A. But I would have to be looking at Juventus, and even then, Atalanta, don't let them out. They're keeping the squad together. They haven't really had to sell any of those players they've got. I mean, really, if Atalanta didn't have a bad start, when you look at the points that they finished third in the end, if they'd have just found consistency, they could have been within a point of Inter Milan over the season. So I would have to say the top four. I mean, I expect Juventus to probably win the league. I think you're also looking at AC, Atalanta, and I think Roma. I think Inter's problems with obviously economically at the moment, and Conte's going. I just don't think they're going to be in the top four this year. But that depends on what players they're able to keep hold of in the end. If they can keep Lukaku and Lautaro Martinez, but then if you is keeping those two, then you could lose someone else. So I just don't think Inter will be able to retain the Scudetto this year.
Do you agree with that, Charlie?
I think they'll win it. And did you say top four as well?
Yeah, top four. You think Inter's going to win it, do you?
I think they will, yeah. I think they will. If they can keep hold of their good players. I mean, Lukaku's he speaks for himself, really. If you've got Lukaku on your team, you can win any game. That's my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, for me, I've got them in the top four, and they're not going to win it, like Dom said. For me, I mean, as a Juve fan, I think Juve finished second. I think third would be Inter, fourth would be Napoli. I think Roma would finish fifth. I don't think Roma's got the squad there yet to transfer.
I think the Jose Mourinho factor will take Roma at least, don't hold me to this, at least to the top four, at least. I think they'll finish fourth or third, maybe even go further. I mean, when you've got Jose Mourinho on your side, I mean, they're a good team. They're a good team, Roma.
Yeah.
Well, and with Jose Mourinho in charge, he is the best. He is officially the best manager in that league. So,
yeah, and
I think they'll do good. Minimum fourth place, in my opinion.
Fair enough.
I think Mourinho. I think with Mourinho is that also not so much top four. If he can either the Coppa Italia or possibly the Europa League, that would even then be considered a good season by the Romanisti. Because obviously last year, I mean, they were chasing the Scudetto at the start and they fell away. So I think if he wins a trophy or he gets it into the top four, I would say that'd be considered a good season for Roma. I just don't think it's going to happen in his first season there.
I'm a big Jose Mourinho fan. Just obviously just for the Bobby Robson connection. I mean, I love the man. I think his arrogance is beautiful. Everything about him. He's a fantastic manager, and I'm wishing him all the best. Really want him to do well, and I do think he will do well as well. And just whilst we were on Inter, I loosely saw something today about Barella being linked with a move to Tottenham. Was it?
No chance. They're not getting
60 million pounds or something like that. I'd love to see Barella in the Premier League. How do you guys think he would do?
I can't see that happening.
Yeah,
I can't see it happen. That would do no good.
I can't see it happening. I think he's going to want to go to a club that is in the Champions League and possibly abroad. I mean, he doesn't really fit in at Juventus or AC Milan. Maybe PSG or Real Madrid will be hovering. I can't see him leaving a club for the Champions League to go to Spurs. That would be, I think that's a non-starter.
Especially being a European champion as well.
Mm.
But he was training at Spurs training ground the other day. You know, there's a good omen there. So
that as well. That is a
yeah, good point.
He's obviously seen the facilities. Maybe he sees what he likes. Maybe that's why they've been.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I don't think Bella go to Spurs. I don't think I'll leave in that to go to Spurs.
Money talks, man. Money talks.
You're right, but I think he's going to be Inter Milan captain. He's going to in the next couple of years.
I think Spurs is priority.
There's one thing I will say about him is he is due.
Priority will be keeping Harry Kane.
Yeah, I totally agree. 100%. I don't know who's going to win. I haven't told you guys who's going to win the Scudetto. I mean, for me, I was going to say Atalanta's going to win the Scudetto this season.
enough. So that's a prediction and a half.
And I think they have impressed each season. They have stepped up. Okay, they might drift away a couple of times, but the couple of games in the middle, they did have a great time. But like you said, if they picked it up, they would have won the league. I think Gasperini has got that team playing. I think they've got the players there. They've got young players, older players as well. They know how to play cracking football. He's flexible in his tactics. And I think, for me, Atalanta will win it. It'll be close between Atalanta and Juve. I think Atalanta, for me, this could be their year. And on evidence I've seen of them last season, I think they're going to do it. They're going to make history. They will make history at Atalanta. So mark me words.
John, you've just convinced me. I'm going to stick 100 quid on them to win.
Good luck. Good luck. But
on that note, I had £200.
I'm going to play Juventus. I'm going to stick with you.
Oh, sorry, Dom. Your connection's so bad. I was just saying, just on the back of that, I had a £200 bet on Italy to win initially, and I got the odds of 8-1, so I got 1,600 back for it to win.
Well done, you. Well done, you. Yes.
It's paid for my holiday.
Nice. Italy, maybe.
No,
go to Sardinia. Seriously. You know? Of course, again. Yay. But that's going to be four. Oh, I'm talking about Napoli much. I know that Spalletti's back in it. I mean, everyone's saying, oh, God, Spalletti's going to play dull football sort of thing. Do you know what? I think he's going to shock a few people going to Napoli. You know what I mean? I've forgot them finishing fourth this season for me. And how do you think you do there?
Top six for sure.
Safe pair. He's a safe pair of hands for me.
Well, I think Spalletti, you look at his winning records, he is one of those managers. I mean, he's a second place manager in the Serie A chase. Spalletti, he doesn't win Scudettos, as we know, but you look at his win percentage record, and I don't understand some of the grief he gets. I mean, maybe there's an issue behind the scene. Of course, there was the spell to Roma in his second spell, but I just don't think he's one of those that can get a team to win the Scudetto. But other than that, you look at his win percentage at all jobs he's had. You can't say he's a disappointing coach at all. I think his win record's there, and I think that might just be the perfect mould for him.
Yeah. Is he going to play Napoli football? Is he going to play open attacking football like Gattuso has done? Sarri has done. I'll come to Sarri in a minute.
He will play safe football. He will play safe football. He's not going to be expansive. He's not going to bring backs forwards. He's good.
Nah, that's the thing. I don't think he's going to play exciting football as well, but it's a safe pair of hands in my
I think he plays to win, Spalletti.
He always plays to win, and he will get the results. That's the thing. It won't be pretty. It'll be very similar to the football we experienced, John, under Rafa Benitez. It won't be pretty, but tactically, all the players will know exactly what they need to do. They'll know their jobs. They know they'll get the results. That's the main thing. Top six. Yeah. I wouldn't say they're going to set their league up, but they will be in the top six for sure. He's a safe pair of hands. Yeah,
definitely. That's my opinion as well. I've got David as well. Agree with the boys.
For Napoli.
Yeah, I've got Napoli fourth for me. I think Napoli final way. And I've got agree with the boys that the key in this class act is just highlights the lack of creative talent in England. Mason Mount is young and can improve, but it's incredibly disappointing for me. I thought he was quiet against Italy. What about the Enigma Napoli?
But just going back to that. Just going back to that England comment, though, I don't think Mason Mount was disappointed at all. I think he was a victim of the system. I don't think they should have went 3 at the back against us. I really don't think so. I think Gareth Southgate got his options wrong there. Should have played a different system. They should have went at us. They shouldn't have played 3 at the back. I think Mason Mount was a massive victim of the game plan that they actually brought to us. I mean, he's a phenomenal player. It speaks for itself. I mean, he just won the Champions League last season, for God's sake. He's a phenomenal player. They should have played to his strengths. They should have played to all the England players' strengths. And you look at some of the games they played, they never really did look that comfortable with 3 at the back. Fair enough, they went to Germany and got a result, but they dominated the game a little bit, but it's not a preferred system for them. I mean, they got Foden. I mean, what's the other guy's name? Jadon Sancho as well. Phenomenal players who weren't even starting. I would have had them starting all day of the week. I know Kane, obviously Sterling had a good Euro. Oh, Dom, every time you speak, all I hear is
think
static.
also, I think in that final, Gareth Southgate. I think Gareth Southgate tactical suicide in that final. I think we were 1-0 down so quick, and they didn't finish us off, and I think he got substitutions wrong. That is the difference between Mancini and Southgate. I said to an England fan today, actually, I don't think England will win it. Southgate.
No, he's not a winner.
That's my opinion on.
He's not a winner.
Southgate.
He never has.
I don't think he's going to win a trophy for England.
He's not a winner. Where's his experience of winning? Nah.
You probably like me saying this, but people forget he took Middlesbrough down. Being a Newcastle fans, you know he took Middlesbrough down as well, and he couldn't get a job for 5 years before the end of 21. So he's a man motivator. He speaks well, but
forgot about that one.
I just don't think he's going to convert all that talent into success for him.
No, not a chance. We need a foreign manager in who's not going to pick players on the basis of popularity and how good they are in the dressing room and all this and that bollock. He needs to get a foreign manager in who's going to implement his style of play, maybe whatever system he decides to play, get the best players on the field, like Graham Jones has done for Newcastle. We were in a 5 at the back, 2 holding midfielders, two wingers, which were more basic. We basically played 2 wing backs on each side. It was disgusting. Yeah. And then the lone striker up front, we had Callum Wilson on his own up front, trying to run into these balls in behind. I mean, it was bewildering. I couldn't believe what was going on. I mean, I was watching this football thinking, what's actually going on? Who's actually picking the teams here? I mean, it's disgusting. And then you look when Graham Jones came in. First game he come in was little false 9. Who did we play? We had Callum Wilson on the right with St. Maximin on the left, and just the little diamond system that he brought in was just absolutely phenomenal. And that's the point of getting your best players on the field and making the most out of them. Almiron is a false 9. He was playing as a left winger almost, and sometimes he was playing in the midfield 3 with 5 at the back, and he was playing as like a sort of Mezzala type player. It didn't make sense to me at all. And as soon as Graham Jones came in, he put players in their position. And I'm surprised that he didn't have more say in the England team, because I think,
he had more say. He had more say with Southgate than more than Steve Bruce. And Steve Bruce, I'm sorry, but he needs to hit the ground running. But that's for another day. But I know exactly what you mean, because I do not like Steve Bruce as a manager at all whatsoever.
When you said his name there, John, I got shivers down my body, man.
I know. Oh, can you imagine him managing an Italian club? He'd be gone after one game. I'm telling you.
Affected by Steve.
He wouldn't make it to his first game. The fans would actually do something, unlike the Newcastle. They'd actually do something. What, Steve Bruce? Are you joking? Petrol bomb, boom.
They turned into bolognese sauce, mate. Let's be real about it. Bolognese sauce. And I got Andy here. How are you, John? How are you, mate? Interesting show, obviously, got about the result. What happened to England's second half performance? We were superb in the first and had Italy on the ropes. Yeah, for the first half an hour, we did. But Italy just took control of that game because he knew they're going to get a goal back. I mean, Chiesa went close a couple of times. Insigne came close. Berardi. And that free kick by Bernardeschi as well, which people had to hold on to a second attempt. But we only had one shot on goal. Harry Kane, we agree that he didn't touch the ball in the 18-yard box sort of thing. Didn't get anywhere near the centre halves, you know what I mean? So it's all it is. So, yeah, totally agree there, mate. And there you go.
I think what happened on that one was they played for penalties, John. They played for penalties.
I mean,
that's wrong.
Yeah. I agree. And also that Mancini's come out in an interview and he come out and he said that, look, there's loads to learn, even though they won the trophy, but he felt that it should have won that game inside 90 minutes. I can tell you now, if Chiesa was on that pitch, they would have won it in 90 minutes because England were on the ropes.
They were struggling. You could see them. But as soon as the added time went on, you could see that all their heads dropped. They were struggling massively. I think if it wasn't the field, we would have got another one.
I know. You're right. And if that's but Deji headed across the board.
Down. I think that was the difference. At half time, we were 1-0 down and we just hung in there, and it was damage limitations.
Yeah. And the thing is as well, I mean, Gareth Southgate haven't got a plan B. He has not got a plan B. His substitutions
didn't have a plan B. You hit it on the head there, John. Didn't have a plan B. Didn't know what he wanted. He didn't even. It was quite sad to look at it from obviously a perspective where all of my friends, they're all England fans. So one of them, I would have took the loss and I would have been happy for my friends at them winning. But I was looking at the performance and I was thinking they must be absolutely sick to their stomach watching this. I mean, it was just gutless at times. It was gutless.
You're right. Yeah, and the thing is as well, I mean, what's Southgate got against Grealish? What's he done to Grealish? What's he done to
Foden? Not Foden. Sorry. I always get him. Jadon Sancho. What's he done? He must have defecated on his doorstep or something. How did he only get like 20 minutes of game time in the whole Euros? It doesn't make sense.
No, I think Southgate's thrown under the bus. I mean, Saka.
Well, to bring on 2 minutes and then go straight into the shootout.
Made no sense at all. Made no sense at all. This is a £75 million player who's just about to move to Manchester United. He's obviously a cut above the rest. How the hell did he only get 20 minutes of game time? It's phenomenal. Gareth Southgate is just not fit for purpose for England. He's not. I mean, some of the football he plays is just bewildering. The fact that he called up like 5 right backs into the squad as well is just bewildering as well.
That's crazy, man. I just don't understand it at all whatsoever, that sort of thing. Listen, I mean, Gareth Southgate did okay where he want to be, but if he also takes to the further level, to the next level, I don't think he's that guy to take us to the next level, personally. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you want to win trophies, guys. You want to win trophies, I think. Honest, he's not the man. Go on, Doc.
I agree 100%, John. He's not the man. He's not the man.
I'd agree, and I think I said this to a few people, and I've said I said you'll win nothing with Southgate, but I just feel the Qatar World Cup for me is the be all and end all for Southgate. I don't see the point in them giving him a knighthood. I don't see the point in the contract extension. Otherwise you're just going to have so much talent go to waste like they did under Sven-Göran Eriksson in his years. For me, I think Qatar is the be all and end all for Southgate. He has to win that, or it's time for a change for someone to get England to that next level. Because I can just see them being stuck in a rut like they were under Sven-Göran Eriksson in the mid-noughties.
Yeah, I agree with you, sort of thing. It's like a all 3-4 sort of thing. Let the players do what they want, bring their wives sort of thing. That's why we have more than 2006 World Cup, because the wives got in the controlled Sven. They actually controlled him, saying that we're coming as well, man. Do you know what I mean? And Sven allowed it to happen. That's why he did not concentrate for the World Cup. And we were lucky to get that as well, by the way. I got Billy as well. Go on.
I was going to say, who on earth would even want their spouses, their partners there, whilst you're away with the lads in a group, in an enclosed group? Who wants their wives there, spending their money, going out shopping? It's just a distraction. How that was allowed makes no sense whatsoever. He was a pushover. That's all he was. He was a pushover.
He was. Could you see Mancini doing that? No. No chance. No chance.
You get a back slap before you had a...
Yeah, backhand that before you knock you out.
Not a chance.
Exactly.
If you even suggested it, Mancini would probably send you home. I mean, your mind's not on football if you're asking those kind of questions.
Exactly. It was just not be tolerated. Got Billy here. 2 quick comments there. I'm going to tell you relegation. So he should have bought on Bellingham instead of Hendo too. We need someone to get amongst the Italian midfield who were struggling again. In all honesty, they were the midfield. Couldn't compete with their midfield. And
Henderson came on and played terrible. I watched about 2 or 3 loose passes, simple passes,
and then he took him off.
And then he took him off for the penalties. It just shows his inexperience and his lack of leadership.
Yeah,
he should not be in charge of that team. England deserve better than that. I know, obviously, aftermath with the fans probably gave a bad image to the rest of the world, but England fans are passionate and they just want their teams to win, and they just want a little bit of something to be proud of. And he's not the man to do that. He's not. No. I know he speaks a good game and he gives the confidence, but if you look at it, the runs to the semi-finals and the finals have all been on the back of just easy victories. I mean, for example, Germany, that was probably one of the worst Germany teams we've seen in about 10 years.
At least.
Easily. I mean, it's phenomenal. And yeah, any team would have won those games. Well, not any team, but any team with the players that England have got under any management would have won those games easily. It's the big games when you're coming up against Italy, when you're coming up against a very fired up Czech Republic team. That's when you need your leader and your man who's going to take charge, and he's going to pick the players that are going to play the game and not the occasion. And it's not Southgate's job. It's not.
No, not really. No, I mean the thing is that we need someone who's going to take us that next level. I just do not think Gareth Southgate is going to take us there. The thing is, though, I'm not being funny, but he picks his mates and not players that is on form. Callum Wilson was on form, so I'm not giving him a good. James Ward-Prowse, outstanding against Southampton. Why did not take him?
How did Tyrone Mings get in that team? How did Tyrone Mings get in that team?
Exactly. To be fair to him, when he came in, he did okay. But at the end of the day, it's Southgate's mate. It's as simple as that.
Gareth Southgate went on record saying that he would pick players in form. He said he wouldn't pick players in the Championship and all that. I mean, he ended up picking Calvin Phillips when he was playing for Leeds in the Championship, and he's just gone against everything that he said he was going to do, really. And he's not for me. Not for me. Looking from a different point of view, not being an England fan, no loyalty to them. Nah, Southgate is not the one. Not the one.
Fair enough. Totally. When you get a manager and it takes like 2-3 months.
I agree.
Go on, Dom. Go on, mate. Dom, come on.
I mean, I've already said it. I think just Southgate, he didn't know how to use it to his advantage against Italy. Like I say, the first 20 minutes, we were on the ropes. We were given Stern Mount so much space to exploit, but they couldn't kill us off. They turned off the destroy button too soon. And I think in that final, it shows that he's just tactically inept when it mattered. You know, I'm sure England fans will be happy final, and I don't blame them. But, you're on your own turf at the end of it, in front of your fans, and the way they let it slip. I mean, I'm not saying that Italy didn't deserve to win it because 60% possession. But at the end of it, you see that from a manager, their first final in 55 years. I cannot see them winning anything with Southgate. I've said this even before the World Cup. The fans like him. His PR's good, and he is a man motivator, but he's not going to win any major honours for England. And even if after he leaves the England job or whatever happens, I can't see any of Europe's big elite clubs coming in for his services either.
No, not a chance. Have you seen the football that they play? It's masked up by.
It's like Bruce. It's like watching Steve Bruce managing England.
It's masked up by results because they do grind out these results, but against smaller opposition who they're always expected to win against anyway. I mean, look at the attacking talent that England have got on display. It's phenomenal. The players that they've got, the starting 11 that they could field is phenomenal. Phenomenal. They're one of the best teams in the world, and they on paper probably, if not the best. And they should be winning these tournaments. I mean, they should have won the last World Cup on paper. Should have won this European Championship on paper as well. And no, it just shows Gareth Southgate is he doesn't know his best team either. That's one of the things. How many games has he played? And he doesn't even know his best team. I mean, it's a strange one. And just when you're on the back of saying they were on their home turf, how many people are actually in attendance at Wembley on Sunday? How many people? I can't remember.
It's 67,000, but it's a lot more than 67,000 fans.
Let's just say, for argument's sake, there was 7. I know it's a 90,000 seat capacity. Let's say for no, not legally. No. Just for the pure premise of the support that was there. So let's just say, for argument's sake, there was 80,000 fans in that stadium. There was only 4,000 Italian fans. If correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And the rest were England fans. That support alone, that was a 12th man.
58,000.
Yeah. And we just didn't do it. We just haven't done it because we just try to sit back sort of thing. We just didn't attack you enough. That is the thing. And one shot on target for the whole of the 120 minutes of game. That is absolutely shocking. Shocking. I mean,
in a final, in a European final.
And I mean, people say we've done well to get to the final. Don't get us wrong. Speeds got to the final, but it's on the day they just haven't done it. They just haven't really done it because they haven't got that belief in themselves. Those players, English players, have done it for the clubs, but Southgate is holding them back. And when you hold players back, Charlie, then unfortunately, this is what's going to happen. We just sat back too deep. We allowed the Tans to play how they want to play. I mean, Italy could have scored 4 or 5 goals, by the way, had been for Pickford, by the way. Let's be real. Let's be honestly real.
Brilliant.
And that is the frustrating thing. I have to agree with you as well, Dom. I don't think England ever go in a major tournament ever again under Southgate. I really don't. I've got the league game. He had 2 tournaments with lucky runs, so surely that won't happen again. You have to agree. We have the players to play their style and Panach. Southgate has no interest in any kind of attacking style. It's like watching Steve Bruce manage England as well at times. I really do. He's a Bruce style coward. That's all there is to it. And the most informed player in the Premier League was Joe Willock, and he didn't even get a sniff in the England squad.
That angers me, by the way. That really does anger me. Willock was the best midfielder in the Premier League for that second half of the season. Not just the best English, the best. He was phenomenal. And I'm praying to God that there's been a lot of reports today saying that we have gotten back on a year loan deal. I pray to God that it's true, because if we're staying up next season, he's going to be absolutely integral to that. I don't fancy our chances of surviving next season, not at all.
Totally agree. We definitely need another forward as well, sort of thing as well. We get to it. Do you look after Callum Wilson? Joe Linton's not the answer. Carroll's not the answer. Like Gale. Oh my God.
Like Gale, 3-year contract.
The club's a joke, man, Charlie. The club's a joke. It really is a joke. And I'll tell you what, if there's no takeover, our club is completely out to finish. Again, that's enough. Just one as well for let you guys go. We're going to go another 5 or so minutes or so. Or go back to Serie A. I mean, 3 teams has gone up. That's Empoli, Salernitana, and Venezia. What chance have those 3 teams got this season staying up? I'll start with you, Don.
I think Salernitana will go down. Salernitana, I think, will go down. I think Venezia will as well. Who was the other one? Did you say Brescia? Did you say?
No, Empoli. No, Empoli.
Was it Lecce?
No. Empoli.
Empoli. I think the 3 coming up are going to Empoli. I think the 3 coming up are going to go straight on, I think.
Charlie?
Personally, I actually don't know any of their squads. I couldn't tell you anybody from their starting 11s or their squad at all. But Empoli, I would love if Empoli stay up.
Yeah, I think Empoli are a fantastic club as well. I really hope they do it. Whoever it is, if they do it, it's another thing. And for me, Salernitana will give it a good go. I really do think they're just going to got new owners now, by the way, because they did have Latino for Lazio. And you cannot own 2 clubs. He owned Lazio and he did own Salernitana. You cannot own both clubs. So what they've done, someone else came in and bought Salernitana for a time. So Venezia, as much as I love to see them stay up, I mean, they do play good football. They might just get away with it. But for me, it's a hard one to see it. I think I'd love to see Empoli stay up. I think they're going to do. I think they're going to go. I think Venezia, I hate to say they're going to go. I'm going to say Fiorentina as well is going to go. But for me, I think Salernitana will give it a right go. Don't forget, if you don't know where Salernitana is, viewers, it's not far from Naples. That's going to be a good game between Salernitana and Napoli.
Yeah, that'll be a tasty little derby, that one.
And that'll be a hell of a game. I would love to go to Salernitana, so I've not done that yet. I mean, it's all seated now. 26,000 capacity now. It used to be 36, now it's down to 26. So I hope their fans get to their stadium sort of thing as well. But if you look at Parma and Crotone, they both got relegated. Crotone conceded 90 goals in Serie A and Parma conceded 74.
Did you say 90?
90 for Crotone. That is shocking. That like you can't expect to stop up and concede 90 goals. You can't, can you? And Parma, I would love to see Parma come back up. Buffon's gone back there. He's 44 now, 43, 44. Buffon. It's just with John Palmer. I hope they go up this season. I hope they get back up. So I do like Palmer.
One last hour, I think, in Buffon's career.
Yeah, keep them up, and that is that. So, guys, I'm going to wrap it up, guys, if that's okay, because we've been on for an hour and 25 minutes, and it's been fantastic. We've got to do more of this as well in the Italian season as well. Say again. Hello, I think he's crashed again, Charlie.
I said it's been an absolute honour being on the show, and time flies when it's having fun.
Hey, next time you're on, Dom, definitely upgrade on that BT Wi-Fi.
Yes. Upgrade your high Wi-Fi, my guy, because the end of the day is not the best in the world.
Guys, super fast.
Oh, I'd write a letter of complaint if I were you.
I would. But guys, I didn't quite say, did you enjoy coming? I'll start with you, Charlie. Did you enjoy coming? Sure.
Ah, fantastic. Yeah. First time I've done something like this, so yeah, I've really enjoyed it. It's lovely speaking to you too as well. You've made it nice and easy, so yeah, I've had a lot of fun.
Thank you very much indeed. And Domenico, are you happy coming with show? Did you enjoy it?
Oh, fantastic. Like I say, I was really grateful for you inviting me on, John. And like I say, we've talked for nearly an hour and a half, all the time gone. We could probably speak for another couple of hours, but I'm sure we've all got work in the morning, and need our BBC as well. But look forward to hopefully we'll come on again one day.
Definitely. I would love that. Just let us know. You've got to come on or come to your channels, or Charlie. Have you got your? Where do you get you guys? Where do you find you? Do you find you on YouTube or just find you on Twitter?
Me personally, I just use Twitter just to talk about Newcastle, because I live on an island with 100,000 people, and I'm literally the only Newcastle fan, so I need to connect with some Newcastle fans somehow. So that's mainly what I use my Twitter for. But no YouTube, no social media, nothing like that. I just work hard, play hard, and comment on Newcastle stuff.
Good for you. That's fair enough. It's just on Twitter. And then Domenico, same with you. Do you find you on YouTube or just on Twitter?
I did used to do YouTube years ago, but you find me now on Twitter. You find me on Facebook as well. But I tend to use my Twitter more for talking about Italian football or Nottingham Forest related. Both can be stressful at times. Are pre-warned, or not much to shout about. Although that's not been the case for us at the moment. So, something that's keeping me eye. I'm sure Forest will bring me crashing down to earth when the new season starts.
Fantastic stuff.
Dom, just before I leave, if it gives you any consolation, on my Football Manager save 2031, you just won the Premier League.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's hope so.
Oh, there's hope for us here, and that's made my day.
It's coming.
There you go. It's coming. You never know. And I've got Billy. Before you guys go, Bill also know what's Twitter's handler.
I don't even know what my username is, to be fair. It's something Newcastle, New UFC 1916. That's the one.
Yeah, that's the one. NUFC 1916. That's Charlie's, and on for Donny is at Dom the Red. All in lower cases, Dom the Red.
Dom the Red.
At Dom the Red. That's it. Yeah, and that's his to handler Billy. I hope you follow those two guys. They're both amazing. Yeah. And listen, thanks so much for coming on, guys. And soon absolutely a pleasure to talk about all things Italian. And it's been a pleasure. And we've got to do this again very soon. And
I'm always for talking about football anytime, John. Give me a shout.
Sure, no problem. Talk about Newcastle on your part, Charlie, and Dom. We're going to talk about the championship as well. Where we do talk about Forest, see how your season's going on. We're definitely going to talk about that. And thanks so much for joining, guys, and enjoy your evening.